dodge bullets, baby.
This is beyond fairy tale. It's inconceivable.
There it is. Doyle's done it. This is the greatest sport in the world.
It began with a sea of thousands when the only question worth asking was, will I survive this day? But now, with just over 300 left, many questions are begging for answers. Like, can a top pro actually win this championship?
There's a lot of good players out there. It's really exciting.
Can a former champion make it happen again?
I love to show those young guns. Scotty still have the touch.
Or will the unknowns continue to dominate this event? The field has thinned and the dream is real. Buckle up, this is sure to be a big day at the main event. Welcome to the 2007 World Series of Poker presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. With Norm and Chad, I'm Lon McCarran. The once-filled Rio Poker Room hosts only 337 players now, and the surprising Hollywood contingent is still present, and they have taken their game to the next level.
There I am again, back to the grind, but I am the master at the short stack. Watch me go.
But even more impressive as the field continues to shrink, a staggering 5 former world champions remain in the race for the final table.
You guys will see. I will be there.
Who will survive another day? We're about to find out. So as we look at the E-Trade financial chip count, you see some players who have consistently been among the chip leaders are still strong. Kenny Tran, Hevad Khan, Gus Hansen just off this leaderboard in 11th place. But everyone looking up at the young chip leader, Dario Minieri.
And there is our 22-year-old leader with 2.4 million chips, the masked man in the scarf.
Do the women in the room know how many chips you have?
Yeah.
You put that on your profile. Hi, I'm Dario. I got 2.5 million chips.
Everyone did start the main event with 20,000 this year.
I have ties older than he is.
Ties older than. That is 62-year-old stock investor Alan Levin in his second World Series. He's got senior company at the table, 68-year-old bracelet winner John Spadavecchia. And there is 2002 main event runner-up Julian Gardner, a former young gun who's getting old by today's standards. He's almost 30.
Levin is from Santa Fe, New Mexico. This is his first World Series cash on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam. King Jack of Hearts.
I'm gonna raise.
And he says he's going to raise it up. The blinds right now at 3 and 6,000 with a 1,000 chip ante from each player. He'll make it 18,000 to play. 2 Minieri, our chip leader. Ace-5 of clubs.
Like David Williams, Dario came upon poker via Magic, the strategy card game I do not understand.
There's Deb Blair from Tucson, Arizona, one of 6 women left in the main event field. She will fold it. So will be heads up, Minieri and Levin to the flop.
Generation gap here.
10-6-10. Minieri still leads after that flop. Levin first to act.
24.
Back home, they call him Santa Fe Slim. Slim bets 24,000.
Dario should recognize reckless aggression when he sees it. All he has to do is take off his shades and look in the mirror.
Minieri will make the call. These two to the turn, and there's the jack, and that hits Levin and turns the table. He checks.
Levin decides to sit on it.
Minieri finds himself way behind now, and he's going to be the one betting 35,000.
Levin with a stutter step here, raised pre-flop, made a continuation bet when he missed the flop, and now check calls after he hit a pair on the turn.
All right, here's the river card. Another jack, and a full house for Levin earns him the check mark. He can only lose the hand by folding.
I hope Dario can see that board through those glasses.
Levin first to act. And now he'll bet it. And a small bet, really. Another 35,000.
Yeah, you're right, Lon. That bet is crying for a call. Or maybe Alan thinks Dario will get cute and try to raise him out of the pot.
Minieri just with the call.
Well, Dario's saying for 35,000, I want to see what you have.
And Levin obliges. Full house good enough there? It is indeed. And our chip leader mucks his cards. So Levin hooked the big stack that time and raked in a nice pot to give him new life.
Let's hear one for the old guys.
I love the old guys, but no one over the age of 40 has won the main event in the 21st century.
Well, get your blood pressure right back up to normal, wouldn't it?
Well, the young Italian pro gave away over 100,000 chips to Levin in that hand, but right now Dario can't afford it. Norman, the main event storyline has shifted from day-to-day survival to chip position. With just 337 players left in the field, the big stacks are beginning to wield their power. But of course, the biggest stack in the room right now belongs to diminutive newcomer Dario Minieri.
Lon, on day 4 of the 2006 main event, Jamie Gold took the lead, kept adding to his stack, and eventually had all the chips west of the Mississippi. Can Italian whiz kid Dario Minieri follow in Gold's footsteps? Who knows? He's very young, he's very aggressive, and he's got a scarf.
Well, Dario's Italian, so he's thinking fashion, but actually he is suffering a little bug right now, so the scarf does help fend off the air conditioning here in the Rio. All right, let's check on some other notable players still alive in this field. There's poker pro Kirk Morrison, who's cashed 5 times in the World Series.
Kirk Morrison's biggest strength line at the table is his ability to read people.
Breakfast of Champions.
He also can hold his breakfast of champions.
Looks like he could use a scarf as well.
Hey, we got chips.
Yeah, that is Hevad Khan, 4th in chips right now with over 1.3 million, finding his way to a new table.
And the table will have to brace itself for Hevad's presence.
And there is renowned cash game player Kenny Tran, one of our chip leaders, who's a bit late to today's event.
Get off the phone, buddy. It's time to start playing. Get off the phone!
And what's this, a streaker in the Rio? No, Gus Hansen showing up a little bit late and a little bit less than dressed.
If you're going to have a one-night stand during the main event, at least have the decency to change your clothes in the bedroom area.
Okay, a little late, but
Welcome to the table.
thank you. Guess I didn't miss too many hands.
I wish he'd missed one more and buttoned up
All right.
first.
Fasten your seatbelts.
You know, if Terrell Owens did this in the NFL, Lon, they would crucify him.
All right.
Well, Helmuth shows up late, but at least he shows up fully dressed. Back to our featured table where chip leader Dario Minieri is sitting.
You know, it's been so much fun. I'm already ahead. You know?
Every day we're above ground, we're already ahead, Alan. You and me, buddy.
You know, it's like Danneman said, once you finish the first day, the rest is gravy.
Some people settle for gravy. The others want all the trimmings, Norman. And action folds around to John Spadavecchia, celebrating his 20th year at the World Series with pocket deuces. He won a bracelet in Kansas City lowball in 1991.
And he's made 11 World Series final tables.
He limps in for 6,000. Action over to Philip Hilm. He folds. Now 11. King 7 of clubs.
I wonder if Santa Fe Slim has met Amarillo Slim.
And he will make the call as well. Al Riccobono from Ossining, New York. King 9 offsuit. He'll limp in as well from the small blind.
The masked man in the scarf.
From the big blind. 6-4 offsuit. He'll check his option. That's a big blind hand. 4 to the flop. And the flop, 8 ace king, a couple of spades. Riccobono with middle pair and a better kicker. 11 with middle pair and a worse kicker.
Did you see how nice the ace of spades looked, Lon? It's the prettiest card in the deck.
Couple of checks.
Well, if they're all going to check, why do they have chips?
There's the 10 of diamonds. That hit nobody on the turn. Minieri drawing dead.
I like this Al Riccobono, but he's got to start betting his hand.
11. Says enough is enough. I'm going to bet. Makes it 18,000.
There. At least Levin sticks his chin out.
Riccobono says no thanks.
Race.
Did he say raise, Lon?
He said raise.
The masked man in the scarf smells weakness.
He's aggressive with no chips, but the chip lead, boy, you better watch out. And he's going to make it 65,000.
Dario with his 6 and a 4. It's down to him and the guy with a real hand.
What I needed to know.
11 is going to give it up to Dario Minieri and the big stack.
The hyper-aggressive Dario wins with squadouche.
Good hand, son.
Actually, he might be even more impressed if he saw how he got bluffed out of that hand.
Or grandson.
No, let's not go that far.
What age can you say son? I'm 48. You got to be 58, 61, 40. What's the cutoff?
For Dario, it's probably 40.
They might call him son or grandson, but right now at the main event, Dario is the man.
The 2007 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, your best bet for great taste. Miller Brewing Company, and in part by Degree Men. More power than you need, one day you'll need it. And Harrah's Entertainment. Pre-register for next year's World Series of Poker now at worldseriesofpoker.com.
Welcome back to the Rio and the main event. Just about 330 players left in this tournament. Let's go over to table number 2. One of the top pros still alive, double bracelet winner Umberto Brenes and his double action sharks.
You know, it's possible Umberto has been sent here by aliens to destroy our planet.
He's in a hand right now with Alex Kravchenko, who became the first Russian poker player to win a World Series bracelet. Kravchenko with King 3, Queen 10 for Brenes, and Brenes pairs his 10 on the flop. Kravchenko checks his King high. And Brenes will come out for 22,000.
The Cherno bluff.
Win.
And Kravchenko gives it up.
You can see, no problem. No problem, you can see.
No, I don't want to see.
Okay, you can see. Yeah. Show, no problem. Umberto no bluff, never bluff. You understand this? Only bluff to my wife, sometimes. Only with my wife.
Umberto and I don't see eye to eye on most things, but on this one, I've got to agree with him.
He knows we are shown in Costa Rica, right? All right, with the shrinking field, the KFC snacker cam doesn't have to work quite as hard. Let's check in on our celebrity contingent. And it looks like Sam Simon, one of the co-creators of The Simpsons, is gone, Norman.
Lonnie invited me to his home game once. I criticized the deli platter. I haven't been back. Good night and good luck.
Well, Sam finishes in 329th place. Elsewhere, Toby Maguire is nearly all in. He's got a pair of kings against Donake Odea's pocket aces, and the river is no help for Spider-Man, and he is now in trouble, down to just 15,000 chips.
His spidey sense should have seen that one coming. He's a superhero with a dream.
All right. Elsewhere, we find Hollywood lawyer John Moonves pondering a call to put all his chips at risk. Daniel Quach has ace-deuce. Moonves will make the call, put himself at risk. He's got ace-jack. He'll be happy about that.
Moonves has Quach dominated.
It's the right move. Whatever happens, I was a genius. Now we'll see what happens.
Everyone in Hollywood is a genius.
At least I put my money in good. If I go out, that's the way I want to go out.
All right, so Moonves once among the chip leaders at risk. The flop, 9, King 9. Moonves still leads.
There's a decent chance for a split pot. If we end up with 2 pair on the board, they'd both play their ace kicker.
7 on the turn.
Only a deuce would knock out Moonves. With a 7-9, queen or king, we'd have a split pot.
River is at 9, and there is a split pot indeed.
No justice.
I don't like to hear lawyers talking about justice.
Moonves was happy a moment ago to be all in and ahead. Now he's disappointed with the split.
Tell your brother to put on some better shows.
John is the brother of CBS president Les Moonves. Back to our feature table where Dario Minieri is our chip leader.
Do you drive?
Okay, I'm shy to say that, but I don't have the driver license yet.
Oh, jeez. It's okay. You got a Porsche, but you don't drive.
Don't say that.
You should just give it to somebody that drives. Like your Italian friend next to you. No?
Dario won a Porsche playing online this past year, and most would agree he doesn't look like he's old enough to drive, let alone sit at a poker table.
My name is Dario Minieri. I'm from Italy. Yeah, everyone say me, give me your passport, little kid, because you're not 21. I know it's funny, and yeah, I like that. I like the competition, that's what I like more than poker. Yes! I play very aggressive, play in many hands, it's difficult for me to fold sometimes.
How much you got? I'm just curious to know how much.
They're all over there.
Poker is a psychological game where you can study players, playing very aggressive, put pressure on people, see the fear on the eyes of people. Not ace and jack, at least queen or king, but not ace and jack. Ace and jack make me crazy, okay? I like joking with people on the table because I always remember this is still a game, okay?
Good day, good day.
Dario built up enough frequent player points online for his Porsche in just 10 months. That means you're playing sit and goes while you're in the shower. It means you're check raising while you're asleep. It's astonishing.
All right, Levin with 10-5, and he will fold.
I told my wife if I die before she does, that's what I want on my tombstone. I fold.
Who is this guy, Shecky Green?
Action on Dario Minieri.
Dario claims he plays only about 40 hours a week online. I don't think so.
King Queen offsuit.
Raise.
And he's going to raise it up to 21,000.
Running with the Bulls.
What does Riccobono expect?
That's what this thing feels like sometimes.
This is the main event, the World Championship. Deb Blair now, who was the Arizona State Ladies Champion, Ace Queen suited.
I finished 17th in that event last year.
There was a field of over 400. She makes the call of 21,000. David Tran mucks his cards, as does Spadavecchia. Action on Danish-born Philip Hilm, another one of the large numbers of European players here. Ace-3.
Oh, look at him. I like this new guy.
He folds it, though. So Minieri and Blair to the flop. The flop is 7-Jack-Jack. Blair is still best. Minieri's going to bet it, though, 32,000.
The masked man fires away.
And Deb Blair makes the call, and rightly so. She does manage a call center in Tucson.
Very nice.
Turn card 8 of diamonds, and Blair now picks up a flush draw. Minieri, again, first to act.
I wonder if he takes the scarf off when he eats a chili dog.
All right, Dario continues to be aggressive, makes it 70,000 now.
I'm all in.
And Blair pushes all in.
Boy, a great read, I guess. But she puts her tournament on the line on a draw, and Dario can't call.
Blair with just ace high. Dario with less than that. And he does muck it.
Well, give her the scarf, though it might clash with those stripes.
So Deb Blair with a nice read and a nice win, and our chip leader having trouble finding traction at this featured table.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main event.
Welcome back to the Rio. At the outer table, lead singer of Godsmack, Sully Erna, started with pocket fours, rivered a flush. He's up against Sorel Mitzi with a pair of deuces.
I Googled Godsmack the other day, Lon. Nothing popped up.
They both checked the river. And the showdown? Sully Erna will win the hand and pick up a few more chips.
I like it when he raises his fist in celebration rather than sticking out his tongue.
So Sully gets a little healthier here in the main event. But elsewhere in the room, it looks like Toby Maguire has been eliminated in 292nd place.
I'll bet you he doesn't even pick up his 39 grand. Spider-Man has been eliminated. Part 1 of my master plan is complete. Next, win main event. Part 3, world domination.
I'm sure that's exactly what he's saying. To another larger-than-life poker hero, the Prince of Poker, Scotty Nguyen, hooked up in a hand right now with Paul Spitzberg from Tenafly, New Jersey.
I'm all in.
And Spitzberg is going to move all in on Scotty. The 98 champ trying to figure out the amateur.
You just want to show you love me back, baby? Huh? You have like 2 6s, 2 7 or something, right, baby? Huh?
Scotty trying to draw him out.
All right, baby. I'm gonna let you embarrass me right back, all right, baby? Here, you see there's a TV, baby. You beat that, baby. Show the bluff.
That might be Scotty's personal record for babies while folding.
Yes.
Spitzberg will take the pot. Scotty trying to see the cards.
You don't have a damn ace, 9 or something like that, right, baby?
Scotty Nguyen has no luck in getting Spitzberg to turn over his cards. Elsewhere, we pick up the play of Hal Labarsky, who is legally blind and must rely on the assistance of his card reader, Jason Williams, to play.
2 of spades on the turn puts 2 spades on the board.
They're hooked up in a hand with Paul Kershaw right now.
50,000 is the bet.
Kershaw puts out 50 grand. Does Hal want to call it? No, indeed, he will fold that hand. It has been quite a run, not only for Hal, but for Jason as well, as these two have been experiencing the ups and downs of the main event together.
I used to bartend at a place locally here in Vegas, and Hal used to come in and have dinner, and Hal and I started talking poker. Hal gave me a call. He said, "You want to come read for me?" I said, "Absolutely."
You know, we get along real well, and he's a real nice guy. I'm very glad that I met him.
Action's on us. As soon as the cards are dealt to us, I whisper into his ear what he has, and from then on, it's all out loud. It's almost like I'm poker commentating.
Flop was 1-7-3, 2 diamonds.
He doesn't give me any coaching or anything like of that nature. He just tells me the action.
I thought it would be so neat to watch the challenge of him playing, being blind.
All in.
Hal's he's an amazing player. For him to sniff out bluffs the way he does, even without his sight, it's really something to watch.
2 of hearts. Yes!
I enjoy it a lot. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Nice hand, Hal.
Will I split the money with Jason if I win the World Series? I think Jason will be very happy if we win the World Series.
Howard Lederer likes to say poker is a game of incomplete information. Hal Lubarski has to compete with less information than anyone else. He can't rely on players' body language or any tells, and it is remarkable what he is doing at this 2007 main event.
Indeed it is, Norman. Hal started the day with 409,000 chips, just above the chip average. Back now to our featured table. Dario Minieri started the day as a chip leader with 2.4 million. He's been stuck in reverse. 5-4 of spades.
18.
Dario's going to raise it to 18,000.
We've talked about the international flavor at this year's World Series. A third of the bracelet winners foreign-born this year, and here on day 4 of the main event, 1/4 of the players remaining are foreign-born.
Action on Alan Levin, who's a pilot, volunteers his time by flying needy patients to hospitals for treatment. And with ace-queen from the small blind, he will make the call.
How much you got left? These are 20 stacks, right?
Three orange plus this.
Thanks. I didn't see the other chips.
Dario wants to know how much he's going to rob a man for before he robs him.
Heads up, trade queen deuce. Levin with a pair of queens. Minieri with an open-ended straight draw. Levin checks. Now Dario. Rarely checks. He's going to make it 30,000 to stay in the hand.
Raise.
Levin says, you're going to need more than that. You're going to need
60.
Another 30. He raises it to 60,000.
Levin likes his top pair, top kicker. Levin could have raised, called, or folded. I think Dario would have preferred if he called or folded. Dario just on a draw.
And they brought new chips to the table. You see that big stack of peach chips, each worth 25,000.
Raise.
Minieri gonna raise.
This kid's got another gear, and this would put Alan Levin all in. A decision for Alan's tournament life right here. I think Dario needs the scarf because he creates so much wind around himself. Levin trying to decide if he was trapped by a big hand and is up against a pair of kings or maybe a set.
Call.
Levin will make the call. This is the degree all-in moment. Levin all in with top pair, top kicker.
Dario tells him I got 5 high.
No more aces.
So a great move for all his chips for Alan Levin.
Hold up, queens.
Levin needs his queens to hold up to stay alive here at the main event.
All right, now the turn card with Levin all in. It is a jack, no help to Dario. Levin still good.
No more aces.
An ace or a 6 would knock Alan Levin out.
Hold up.
Now the river card. It is a 7, and Alan Levin earns the degree check mark and doubles up.
Nice one.
Let's hear one for the old guys.
So Dario Minieri has to give away more chips.
This is my favorite part of poker.
Stacking chips?
You bet. We make money the old-fashioned way. We win it.
And Dario loses the old-fashioned way. He bluffs it.
The Degree All-In Moment is brought to you by Degree Men. More power than you need. One day you'll need it.
Bracelet winners get younger and younger with each passing year.
World Series of Poker history has been made tonight.
But when it comes to the main event champion, that record is still held by the original poker brat, Phil Hellmuth, who won it all back in 1989 at age 24. And there is poker's holy grail, the main event bracelet, and plenty of young guys still alive here in the field at the Rio who could break Phil's record, and one of them is at our featured table, Dario Minieri.
In fact, I just double-checked his paperwork. Dario Minieri is 9.5 years old, headed into 4th grade. He would Bob Beeman Helmuth's record.
On the Milwaukee's Best Light pocket cam, Dario with King Deuce. They're calling him the Harry Potter this year in the room. He raises to 24,000.
Well, he is aggressive even in early position with a marginal hand.
Julian Gardner now with King-Queen offsuit. He's from Manchester, England. He was the original Harry Potter of poker when he finished runner-up in the main event.
Julian is a big fan of the Manchester United Soccer Club.
He'll call for 20,000 from the small blind. Hill gives it up. And actually, the colors of Dario's scarf are representative of his favorite soccer team, AS Roma. 5-5 queen on the flop, and Gardner pairs his queen and comes up big. Look at those percentages.
Julian checked there, and I think he was hoping Dario would show his aggressive streak, but Dario also checked.
A jack on the turn gives Gardner the check mark, and he checks it over to Dario, who says bet.
Now we get some Dario-style action.
30,000.
Dario should wear a helmet.
Gardner now will make the call only.
And again, he's going to sit there, smooth call it, and hope to get some more chips out of Dario on the river.
River card is a king, and that hits both players, but Gardner, of course, with a better 2-pair.
That's a bad card for Dario, Lon. He hit his king, and he still beat.
Gardner checked it over to Dario, and Dario now with 90,000. And a call from Julian.
Call.
And Dario shows kings up, but of course Gardner with a better 2-pair wins the pot.
Good night, sir.
Julian Gardner shows him who's the real Harry Potter, and I like hearing someone call Julian Sir.
So Dario Minieri continues to backslide. He picked up over 2 million chips in his day 3 alone, but he's having trouble at this featured table today. Now over to table 2, where Umberto Brenes is in action again. Umberto up against Keith Ogren, who has ace-king of clubs and has moved all in. Umberto with pocket 10s now.
Yeah, 261.
It would cost Umberto 84 more to call from the small blind.
From the title, cheers.
Maybe the shark will accidentally bite Umberto.
Well, then who would you pick on?
Oh, I'll find somebody.
Umberto does make the call and put Ogren at risk.
Oh my God! Time's coming. You, someone,
Umberto says a 10 is coming.
The sad thing about Umberto, he does the same thing when he plays Monopoly.
There's the flop. Oh, there's the 10. How can those sharks be right so often?
Ogren now all but out of here.
Ogren sees a 6 hit the turn, and that is going to finish it. A full house for Umberto Brenes eliminates Keith Ogren.
Umberto doesn't care if someone's eliminated. The show must go on.
My friend, you see what Umberto, you have a lot of chips, but he's like a lot of kitty.
Well, Umberto and his card protectors continue to win pots, but some at this table perhaps wish he would give the Sharks a rest.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main event.
Back inside the Rio, the field down to 250 now, and experience should be paying dividends to those who've been this far before, but it's not helping 2002 main event champ Robert Varconi, his ace-jack trailing the 2 queens of Hyun Kim.
Robert says poker might have been the most important thing he learned at MIT. His main event title's worth $2 million.
The river card is a deuce, and Kim will take that pot, and Varconi now giving away chips.
Sorry about the emotion.
Varconi takes it in stride.
Oh, the emotion can't overwhelm a player at this stage of the game, but one guy who never seems to be overwhelmed by the main event is World Series rookie Hal Labarsky. Labarsky put out a bet to his opponent Andrew Gunderson, and Gunderson gives it up.
Hal, a proven cash game veteran, a solid limit hold'em player for a long time.
Hal actually used to deal blackjack in his late teens and early 20s in Atlantic City before his move to Vegas, so he's still doing well at the outer tables. And that rueful laugh is from Scotty Nguyen because his newfound nemesis Paul Spitzberg came over the top again.
Spitzberg trying to treat Scotty as his whipping boy.
This time you're gonna show me, right, baby?
One, baby.
I'm gonna show me, baby.
2 babies.
I can't do that. Show me 6 high.
Where's the 3rd baby?
Show it to me then.
I'm not going to show you my cards. You're too good. I can't show you my cards.
Paul continuing to frustrate Scotty Nguyen.
Show the best in the world or one of the best in the world your cards? Wow.
We danced again, baby.
There it is.
I'm an old man. Do I still look wet behind my ears?
Well, Spitzberg, one of the elder statesmen in the room at age 61, showing some restraint after taking that pot. And then there are others like 27-year-old Ryan Elson letting it all out, as young players often do after winning a pot.
Sorry, sir. Good hand. Sorry.
But who has the advantage, the young or the old? Their styles tend to be very different, and it is a topic that can drive some people nuts.
Age is a very interesting tool.
When you're older, you have more experience.
What the young kids have is they have fearlessness. They just go in there and they're boom, boom, boom.
Older players have to run to the john more. And they're slower about getting back to their seat. You see the younger, they're going through the halls like this.
I mean, I think your 40s are really power years.
The 2 things that happen when you're in your 40s is impotence, and you just lose your ability to concentrate in poker.
When you get too old, the problem is you become a little complacent, you lose your passion.
You gotta be young, because they can run their calculations.
250, 135 to call, I should probably call. Voices in my head.
And play for 72 hours straight.
Older people get tired quicker.
I hope to have my wits about me at the age of 72 like Doyle Brunson does.
Doyle's just a freak.
I don't think he's really human anyway.
I think the more hands you played, the wiser you are.
Doyle busted my ass.
I give the younger person a slight edge on the physical part. Yeah! And I'll give an older person a slight edge on the experience part.
Dario is 22. If he's still wearing that scarf when he's 72, I hope he's not living in the desert. It's 115 degrees outside.
Dario Minieri with the big stack, living up to his reputation as an aggressive player with king-queen offsuit. Blinds at 4 and 8,000. And he is going to limp in. Over to David Tran, a full-time player from El Monte, California, 44 years old, Jack 9 offsuit.
Tran, good friends with bracelet winner David Pham.
He limps in from the small blind, and now Spadavecchia, 10 tray.
And Spadavecchia is thinking, I've been playing poker for 60 years. How many times do I have to look at 10 tray offsuit?
Checks his option. 3 players to the flop. Minieri with the best hand right now, but Tran pairs his jack, and now he's the man to beat. Tran bets 16,000 with the 2 jacks.
Spadavecchia can't wait to get out of the hand.
Now Dario.
I race.
Why wouldn't he? He's got 2 overcards and a lifesaver to suck on.
Dario was a psychology student before turning to poker, says he loves to see the fear in his opponent's eyes, and he seems to see that a lot these days. He makes it 76,000.
Boy, that kid's got a lot of bluff in him.
Tran, with those jacks, will make the call. All right, now the turn card. It is a 10. That gives Minieri an up and down straight draw. Tran checks his jacks.
All in.
And Minieri moves all in.
My goodness. Lon, Dario took control of this hand with nothing by raising on the flop. And now he's telling David Tran that you've got to risk all your chips if you want to play with me.
And how can he at this point, really? And he does indeed muck his cards. What a hand by Dario Minieri.
That is one tough scarf.
Well, the power of the big stack yielded with confidence. Super Dario back on track.
The Nuts, brought to you by Planters, celebrating 100 years of fresh taste.
Welcome back to the Rio. 244 players remain, and on the E-Trade financial chip count, you see Gus Hansen holding steady, but the new chip leader, 21-year-old Norwegian Dag Martin Mikkelsen with 1.7 million. The former chip leader, Dario Minieri, still strong, though.
And he is back in full Easy Rider mode.
And you look at his hole cards of 10-8 offsuit, and he won't play those. And we welcome a new player to the feature table, Mark Muchnick. Lives in Vegas, born in Moscow, Russia.
6,358 players started this main event. $8.25 million to the winner.
Pocket fives for Muchnick. He limps in for 8,000. Over to Philip Hilm. Lives in England. His father's Polish, mother's Danish. He's got ace-10.
I like this guy's look, and he makes it work without a scarf.
And Hilm is going to make it a little more to play. He raises to 32,000. Muchnick will need 24,000 more to stay in the hand. And look at that stare from Hilm. Muchnick makes the call. So these two heads up to the flop. And the flop is 3 queens, and that gives Muchnick a full house. He'll be first to act. Muchnick finished second at the World Series new heads-up championship. He's going to bet 37,000.
If I'm Hilm, I'm thinking Muchnick doesn't have a queen because he probably wouldn't bet the queen right here.
Hilm reaching for chips. And that's more than 37. He's going to raise it up to 74,000.
Now, if I'm Muchnick, I'm thinking he doesn't have a queen because he wouldn't come over the top of me already with it. You see how I climb into their minds, Lon?
That's scary. Muchnick makes the call with the advantage. These two now will go to the turn. Turn card 9 of spades. No help to Hilm.
That is one steely stare. By the way, for the record, I would have folded my hand already because I always think the other guy's got it.
Muchnick checks his full house. Hilm tries to see through the bill of that hat. And Hilm continues his aggression, makes it 96,000.
Lon, this is like a game of chess, except there are no chess pieces.
Muchnick will make the call of 96,000.
Well, Hilm can't like it. He's taken 2 shots at it, and he can't shed Muchnick.
All right, now the river card. It's a 4. Muchnick with the check mark, and he'll let Hilm drive the action.
I'm all in.
And Hilm obliges by pushing all in. That would put Muchnick at risk.
Boy, this is like double whammy psychology going on. If I'm Muchnick, I'm thinking Hilm knows I can't fold. I only have 100,000 left, so he knows he can't bluff me out. But if he knows he can't bluff me out, maybe he's only betting because he knows he has me beat, so maybe I should fold my full house. It's for his tournament.
It'll drive you crazy. I guess Muchnick figuring, does he have a bigger pocket pair?
Oh, Hilm just blinked.
Oh, is that the tell he was looking for? Muchnick calls all in.
Good call. What'd you call?
And that is a good call. And he shows the full house, and Muchnick will take the pot and double up.
Hilm kept firing bullets, but they were blanks. Nice call by Muchnick.
Muchnick with his 4th cash already at this World Series, continuing his strong play here in the main event.
Yeah, you try making that call for your tournament life, you'll be 36 going on 96 in a hurry. Remember, Hilm bet every step of the way. Hilm even raised pre-flop. Tough call.
All right, so a good hand by Muchnick. Let's move from the featured table over to table number 2, where Umberto Brenes has been taking center stage, but he's got some new company there. The chip-stacking king, Carlos Mortensen, but a little less extravagant, Norman.
He doesn't have enough chips to do anything more extravagant.
All right, Jeff Weiss also at this table, a Florida orthodontist, 9-8 offsuit.
He went to the University of Pennsylvania Dental School. I guess he couldn't get into any place good.
He's going to make the raise to 25,000. Now on Umberto with 5 deuce.
Seems a bit weathered. Must be high tide.
Well, he'll throw those cards into the surf and move it over to Carlos Mortensen with pocket jacks.
I move all in.
And he does move all in with his final 81,000.
Very short stacked, and Carlos might not have enough chips there to protect his hand.
Action on Weiss.
It's less than 100?
Yeah, less than 100. Like 6.
Just a big guarantee that I got 2 live cards here.
Weiss getting 2-1 on his money, but he would be way behind the pocket jacks if he calls.
He needs 56,000 more, and he does make the call. So the 2001 world champ Carlos Mortensen at risk, but ahead with his pocket jacks. All right, here we go to the flop. Mortensen at risk. It is 3-5-4. The jacks are still good.
Good flop for Carlos. He's in a great position to double up.
Turn card, and he does double up right there, hitting a set of jacks on the turn. And he'll double through Jeff Weiss.
Just on time, my friend. Just on time. I was dying.
Yeah, he doubles up, but a lot of makeup work to do still for the Matador. Elsewhere, we find Sully Erna trying to rally once again. He's all in with King, Queen of Spades. And it is Haris Anastasio with Ace King that does make the call.
Erna is dominated.
Spades, baby.
So one of our last celebs in danger of going out.
I'm going down swinging, though. If I pull this one off,
If he pulls this one off, his tongue might hit the ceiling.
And here's the flop, a couple of 4s and a 9.
Come on,
but 2 spades in there.
Plenty more of them in the deck.
Well, actually, there's 9 more of them in the deck, and there are 45 cards left, so there are more non-spades left than spades.
All right, now the turn card.
How many queens left?
Yeah, deuce of hearts.
Come on, spade. Come on, spade.
Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, spade.
Come on.
Sully needs a spade or a queen, or he's done.
River card, 7 of clubs, and that's not going to do it.
Never mind.
Anastasio thought it was a spade, but indeed he does eliminate Sully Erna in 237th place.
Hey, Sully, go write another song with 3 chords.
So a nice run for one of our celebs. Congratulations, Sully Erna.
Thank you, guys.
The 2007 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, your best bet for great taste, Miller Brewing Company, and in part by E-Trade. It's easy, it's extraordinary, it's E-Trade. And the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino, home of the 2007 World Series of Poker.
Back inside the Rio, there is Carlos Mortensen, whose tournament life is on the line against Bo Selstad. Selstad's queens against Mortensen's jacks, and he's looking for a jack on the river, and it's a 9, and just like that, the 2001 world champ is gone.
So the last pro to win the main event in 01 will not be the last one standing in 07.
A few months ago, Carlos won $4 million in the WPT Championship event. This was his only cash at this year's World Series. All right, let's get back to our featured table where the former chip leader Dario Minieri has been stuck in reverse. He's lost almost 900,000 chips of his stack tonight. And you got to be wondering, are they starting to think about the main event final table, Norman?
I wouldn't think seriously about that line until I was down to 4 or 5 tables left.
Have you ever been involved in a tournament at 4 or 5 tables left?
No.
Dario Minieri has. He has 8-7 of clubs. And guess what? Raise.
The masked man in the scarf will not go away.
Makes it 21,000 to play. Deb Blair now with King 9 offsuit.
You know, women comprised only about 5% of the main event field this year. Where are they?
From the small blind, she makes the call for 17,000 more. The big blind Muchnick folds, so Blair and Minieri heads up again. Flop is Queen 9 Queen, a pair of 9s now for Blair. And she is going to bet 60,000 into Minieri.
Dario did not get any piece of that flop.
So I expect a raise from him?
Well, you know, Lon, you watch Dario for just a short while, and you realize he can accumulate chips in a hurry, and he can de-accumulate chips in a hurry.
Is that a real word?
Call.
He does make the call, though, and that's one way you de-accumulate chips, I guess.
There you go.
All right, turn card, 7 of diamonds. That does hit Minieri, but he's still behind. Blair again, first to act. And she throws out 5 of the new peach chips. That's 125,000.
Dario now with a pair of 7s, but bleak prospects for him in this hand.
All in.
Wow.
Call.
And a call.
Yeah, she has Dario's rhythms down cold. It took her maybe 1 second to make that call, and I think she just waited a moment to be polite.
Blair has had Dario's number. She is all in, but she's way ahead.
Keep it low.
Blair looking to avoid a 7 to stay alive.
And now the river card is an ace. That'll work too. And Blair doubles through the reeling Dario Minieri.
Dario has a headache on the left side of his head.
And it's no wonder Norman Minieri has lost more than half his stack tonight. Okay, now we move to the outer tables. Hal Labarsky has just moved all in. He has a straight draw, but Scott Freeman turned a set of 6s and is way ahead.
What a wonderful story Hal Labarsky has been at this main event. But if Freeman calls here, Hal will be on the brink.
So the 21-year-old USC student with an opportunity to push Lebarski to the edge, and indeed he makes the call. And now Jason Williams, Lebarski's reader, sees the bad news.
He's got a set of sixes.
Are you going or?
I'll go, yeah. Shows the six of diamonds and the six of hearts for a set of sixes.
Lebarski knows how much trouble he's in with one card to come.
Lebarski needs an 8 for a straight or his inspired main event will be over.
8! River is a jack, and that's going to do it. Lebarski is eliminated.
He fills up, makes a boat, sixes full of jacks.
And you see the disappointment both on Lebarski's face and his reader, Jason Williams.
It was a remarkable journey for Hal Lebarski.
Are they on mine? Yeah, very nice to play. Very pleasure. Gentlemen, good luck.
Just a remarkable accomplishment for Hal Lebarski to outlast more than 6,000 players in this main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, he may not have his vision, he's legally blind, but he is one heck of a poker player. Ladies and gentlemen, from Las Vegas, Nevada, Mr. Hal Lebarski.
Through him and his blindness, many eyes were opened to what someone with a little determination, creativity, and skill is capable of. Congratulations, Hal Lebarski.
I'm not stealing. I never steal. I simply put my money up and give someone else the opportunity to try.
There's always somebody who's going to try to steal.
There is Sinovio Ramirez III from Mercedes, Texas. Suited connectors, 9-7 of hearts.
And from the button, he just calls. He doesn't try to steal.
Scotty Nguyen reaches for his whole stack. No.
Isn't that a balk in baseball?
Chicken out, baby. Chicken out.
Poor Trey from the small blind. He makes the call. Jeff Banghart, Jack Deuce. Nobody's raised him.
Banghart, an honest man from the big blind.
So 4 players to the flop, and the flop is 6-5 deuce. Scotty Nguyen flops the joint.
Yep, it's the nuts straight for Scotty.
Banghart with a pair of deuces.
Ramirez has picked up a straight draw.
Scotty first to act from the small blind. He's got the straight, and he checks it, as does Banghart.
Normally I would bet this, but Scotty, in the small blind, that's your type.
It's all me, baby.
Give us another.
All right, everybody checks to the turn.
Well, Spitzberg seems to be a nice fellow, Lon, but that's inappropriate to be discussing somebody's hand with other players still in the pot.
Turn card is a queen, no help to the needy. Scotty checks his straight again.
Very patient, hoping somebody tries to get cute.
Another check from Spitzberg. And now Ramirez with the inside straight draw. He's going to make him pay to play $33,000.
Well, here we go. The Scotty Nguyen Poker Store is open for business.
Yep, he's going to announce a check raise.
Well, unfortunately for Scotty, he's got customers out there with nothing.
He makes it $98,000 to play Banghart, and Spitzberg go away. Now up to Ramirez.
And Ramirez with just a bad draw and not a lot invested in the pot.
And he does muck his cards, and Scotty Nguyen, who hit the flop big time, wins the pot.
And he shows he hit the flop big time.
I'm not sure they believed him before.
Oh, it's all mine, baby.
I thought it was impossible, but Scotty Nguyen is even more confident now.
Norman, imagine this scenario. You pay $10,000 for your main event seat, survive the early slings and arrows, make the money, outlast over 6,100 other players, and then are rewarded by having to sit down at the same table as the dangerous duo of Scotty Nguyen and Gus Hansen.
Gus Hansen has a nice smile and about 50 ways to take your chips that you never thought of. Scotty Nguyen's slightly more conventional, and at least he'll make you laugh before he takes your chips. The bottom line is, if they're both at your table, there's just one thing to say: good luck.
Luck may be your best weapon against Gus because you rarely outplay him.
I think there's 2 sheriffs in this town. I'm not sure this town's big enough.
That's plenty big. That's plenty big.
The feature table players do have their hands full with Gus and Scotty, but table 2, no walk in the park either. A couple of strong pros over there. There is Kirk Morrison, one of the big guns in the field. He's got over 1 million chips. He is seated with DeChark Umberto Brenes, who's in a hand right now with Willie Tan. Umberto with pocket aces, Tan with a straight draw after the turn.
You think, how about a shot?
Oh, geez, don't ask for the shark. It doesn't need encouragement. It makes personal appearances on its own accord.
But Umberto will oblige. Umberto checks the turn. And Willie Tan bets $25,000. And Umberto's along for the call with those pocket aces. And it's a 5 that missed Tan. Umberto with the check mark. He checks it again.
Tan can only win the pot by betting at it.
And he's reaching 4 of those peach chips. That's 100,000.
He bets 2/3 the size of the pot, and that's fine by Umberto.
You must win.
Umberto makes the call. Tan says, you must win.
You know the chart? Smile, very good, the chart. One guy tried to bluff the chart. My God! My darling, no problem.
I would do anything to be on the Galapagos Islands right now with no cable TV.
It's only for TV.
Don't bluff the chart.
Yeah, okay. This is one way to open your hand.
All right, from one loud player to an extremely loud player, Hevad Khan, who at times seems positively possessed.
Hevad plays loud, Lon, but he plays pretty solid cards.
With a bet, he gets Kenny Roon to fold.
And now here comes the Hevad we know.
Watch out.
Here it comes.
Well, as we try to figure out who's wearing that Hevad Khan costume, let's go out to our KFC snacker cam and the dwindling field. And it looks like the field might get even smaller. A crowd gathering around Dario Minieri's table, the former chip leader, all in.
Philip Helm with a straight and flush draw against them. Dario doesn't like the looks of it.
Dario has the best hand right now with king high, and the turn card about to come out. Turn card is a deuce, no help to Helm.
Still good for Dario. He's got to dodge a spade, a 9, 8, or 7 to stay alive.
The river card is another 10, and he does dodge the menagerie of outs that Helm had.
If Dario had lost any more chips, Lon, he would have had to sell his scarf.
Helm can't believe he missed all those outs. Minieri is healthy again with 1.4 million, but can he hang on to him this time?
The 2007 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, your best bet for great taste, Miller Brewing Company, and in part by E-Trade. It's easy, it's extraordinary, it's E-Trade. And Harrah's Entertainment. Pre-register for next year's World Series of Poker now at worldseriesofpoker.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've lost another former world champion from 2002. Let's hear it from Robert Barconi. Robert, you played wonderfully.
Back at the Rio, you hear that former champ Robert Barconi has been eliminated by that man, Mickey Siegel.
Barconi's first cash in the main event since winning the big one 5 years ago.
As all former champs do here, Robert gets a nice send-off. Now only 3 former champions left in the field, including the 96 champ Huckseed.
Huck's a tough guy to figure, Lon. I've played with him a handful of times, and I don't think we've even made eye contact.
Well, we've mentioned Huck is a pretty anonymous world champion, but perhaps even more unknown is the 86 champ Barry Johnston, even though he's got a total of 5 bracelets. He's in a hand right now with Billy Baxter, who owns 7 bracelets of his own.
Put these two guys together and you have 12 bracelets. Put their combined ages together and wow, that number is off the charts. Heck, Barry Johnston calls Doyle Sonny.
Barry's sitting on about 500,000 chips right now. Baxter in trouble under 200,000.
Baxter's won bracelets in 4 different decades, all in low-ball events. Johnston's 5 bracelets are all in different events.
All right, we make our way back to the featured table, and we find the third of the remaining former champions, the Prince of Poker, Scotty Nguyen. Everybody knows Scotty won the main event in 1998, but what most people don't know is what happened after that win.
Scotty's our new world champion.
The feeling is just unbelievable. I was yelling, screaming that day, that moment, just so special. And I become a world champion.
We did it, man!
The next day is very, very, very sad for our whole family because I lost my brother. Just when I won the biggest event in the world and I call home, let my mom know, my brother know. He run around and he get drunk and some drug hit him, kill him. God give me something, but I lost something very special, I work hard for my family, But if I win, I give it almost all to them. But my brother didn't see that, He in my mind all the time when I play the main event, so, I would love to win this one for him,
You see, Scotty does wear a lot of jewelry, but he does not wear the championship bracelet from 1998. He says it's a painful reminder of his loss, so he keeps it at home.
Scotty's last big run in the main event was in 2003 when he finished 18th.
All right, back to action at this featured table. Gus Hansen looks at tray, deuce of hearts.
Those are Gus type of cards. He's under the gun.
Ace-king to us mortals, but they go into the muck.
Geez, I've seen Gus use those cards to pick up women. He knows how to play suited connectors, but I think he's a little wary of Scotty Nguyen being behind him all day.
Daniel Alai gives it up. That is Ayaz Mahmoud. He says no thanks. Brian Swanson and Paul Spitzberg fold it. Action on Sinovio Ramirez III, who is a member of one of the nation's best flag football teams, Norman.
Who's playing flag football these days?
Who lost the last hand?
Everybody but you.
Jack 5 of diamonds, and Ramirez
33, baby.
raised it up to 33,000. Scotty with ace-king.
Ace-king on the button. It's time for Scotty to rock and roll.
Raise it.
And Scotty re-raises to 103,000. Banghart gives it up. Big blind Marco Mills folds. Back to Ramirez now.
Ramirez is actually thinking about it. He's going to be out of position against Scotty. Suited cards are overrated, frankly. Ramirez just has jack high.
But Ramirez re-raises to 250,000.
Wow.
I'm on.
And Scotty comes over the top.
200.
Ramirez with a chance to put Scotty Nguyen on the edge of elimination.
Well, Ramirez is getting the right price to call, 3.5 to 1. But I don't understand why he's put himself in this position.
Thank you, baby.
He had raised 33,000 originally. Now he would be in for 500,000 chips when he just could have folded when Scotty first raised.
Ramirez is going to make the call. Scotty Nguyen at risk.
2 live ones, baby.
Did he say baby? That's Scotty's word.
Ramirez behind with 2 live cards.
And if he gets lucky here, he can knock out Scotty.
It's bad, beat him out of here.
Who'd want to knock Scotty out? All right, Scotty all in. Here's the flop. It is 9-9-6. Scotty still leads with that ace-king.
Scotty won't feel good until he sees an ace or a king.
Turn card is a 7 of hearts. Ramirez now with an inside straight draw, but Scotty steals some outs with a flush draw.
Well, Ramirez now can make a straight with an 8, so he can knock out Scotty Nguyen with a non-heart 8, 5, or jack on the river.
And now the river. It's a 10, and Scotty doubles up. Ramirez could not knock him off.
Messing around? Don't messing around like that, baby. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Try to put a beat on me, baby.
You know it. You know it.
You know I don't play bad, baby.
No, he plays good, and you can sense he's on a mission.
Thank you, baby.
Whoever he's up against, wherever he plays, Scotty is always the home team.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main Event.
Welcome back to the Rio. We take a look at this dwindling main event field and a crowd gathering again around Dario Minieri's table. They have just seen a monster pot, and it looks like Deb Blair has been eliminated by the aggressive Dario Minieri.
And Dario, again, the chip leader. It seems like every time we look up, he's either got a lot of chips or he's on the verge of having no chips.
So a fantastic showing for the Arizona State Ladies Champion. Congratulations to Deb Blair. Now just 2 women left in the main event, and there is one of the 2, Kelly Jo McLaughlin. Kelly might be the next one out the door, though. She's all in. She's got the lead with kings against Corey Carroll's pair of jacks.
She played a year-long tournament with 9 of her friends to send one of them to the main event. And what a main event it has been for Kelly Jo.
Kelly Jo survives.
Nice one.
And now she is becoming a force in this room. She's gone over the 1 million chip mark. Elsewhere, the only other surviving female in the field, Maria Ho, is all in. She did pair her ace on the flop against the 10s of Jason Welch.
Maria trying to avoid a 10.
It's a king on the turn.
And now a 10 and a 10 only would eliminate Maria Ho.
The river card.
Can I see it first? Let me squeeze the card.
No.
We all see it at the same time.
Pitch it right here, this corner.
All right, now the river card. It is a 6, and Maria Ho does survive and doubles up.
Maria, poker pro from L.A. 1993 was the only time that two women finished in the top 20 in the main event. Marsha Wagner 19th, Wendy Neola's 20th that year.
All right, we check out our E-Trade Financial chip count. Minieri on top again. Gus Hansen over $1 million. He seems to have been there for the last 3 days. And Scotty Nguyen, after that recent double up, now approaching $1 million. The average stack about 726,000. And the whole cards of Gus Hansen, 5-4 of hearts.
At 18, Gus took a year off before college to play backgammon and never went back to school. He made his way to backgammon clubs in New York City in the mid-90s, which is where he discovered poker. And sometime after that, he discovered how to play any two cards.
And with those two cards, he makes the raise to 42,000 chips.
Gus raising from early position.
Swanson gives it up, now to Spitzberg. On day one, Paul moved all in, misread his opponent's hand when they turned him up, walked away thinking he had lost. They called him back, said, no, your kings are good, and here he is.
It never happens to me.
You never get pocket kings is the problem. Spitzberg makes the call with Queen 8 of hearts. Now Scotty Nguyen. 10-7 of spades.
Scotty's thinking, I'm going to be out of position against Gus. Is it worth 42,000 chips to see if I hit the flop? I say go for it.
And that's why you're sitting next to me.
That's a bad deal for both of us.
So Spitzberg and Hansen, each with hearts to the flop. It is ace 8-6, a pair of eights for Spitzberg. Gut shot, straight draw for Gus Hansen.
And Scotty would have picked up a gut shot too, but I don't think he would have been crazy about it.
Hansen checks it. Spitzberg will check back. Now the turn card. It's a 9 of spades. Scotty bemoans that unplayed straight.
I told him to play. The game has passed him by, Lon. He's a donkey.
Hansen, first to act. Got no help from the turn. So he'll bet it. Trying to buy it. 57,000.
You're right, he's trying to buy it. He bets half the size of the pot, hoping to end it.
But no, Spitzberg's right there, leading with a pair of eights. Oh, curious look from Gus. River card 6 of hearts pairs the board. Spitzberg earns the check mark.
Gus actually would be playing the board here. In other words, he has mega squad douche. He can either concede or fire away.
He fires again, 93,000 to Spitzberg.
Let's see if Spitzberg's bluff detector is working. Problem for Spitzberg is Gus often will play rag cards. A lot of rags are out on that board.
I'm going to make a bad call.
But Spitzberg makes the call.
The bad call wins.
And the bad call wins about 200,000 from Gus Hansen.
Gus told us he doesn't bluff enough on the river. I don't think that result's going to encourage him.
Yeah, Gus Hansen takes a bit of a hit to his chip stack as Paul Spitzberg, the main event rookie, shows he's not afraid to mix it up with the pros, and he's doing pretty well in a tournament he never even planned to enter.
I wouldn't even have been in this tournament if my wife and daughter and I didn't come to celebrate my daughter's birthday in Las Vegas. My mother was with us too. They love to play the slots and all the things that put the odds against you. I'm a cash poker player. I don't play tournaments. You want me to call? I've always wanted to play. I talked to my mom and my wife and my daughter. I said, okay, you know what? If you all don't mind, I'll just stay and play the event. Wow. But if I happen to be still in the tournament, do you mind if you get to the airport by yourself? This is the first main event of anything I've ever played. Sitting at the table is the most exciting, adrenaline-creating moments that I have ever experienced. Scotty bluffed me and showed the bluff. Lovely embarrassment. I would not do that to you like you did to me. This is the time of my life. I've had a wonderful run. It's really incredible.
Spitzberg has played in some big cash games in Las Vegas with some of the big pros, including Gus Hansen.
All right, let's move elsewhere in the Rio Poker Room and pick up L.A. entertainment attorney John Moonves. He's the last of the Hollywood crowd. It looks like he's on the verge of going home. His pocket seven's up against the set of trays of Robin Berggren with only one card to come.
I know, right?
All his connections can't help him now. Moonves will need a 4 or a 7 to stay alive.
And now the river card is a 7, and Moonves sticks around.
Got to get lucky, sorry.
Actually, I'm sure he made a phone call, and you saw what happened.
So his set of sevens beats the set of trays.
Hate winning that way.
A Perry Mason moment for the LA attorney.
I'll take it, though.
Saving the day at the last moment. All right, elsewhere we find the suddenly silent Rain Khan, even though his aces are a huge favorite over the kings of Kenny Rooned with the river to come.
Ruined all in, needing a king and a king only, or he's eliminated.
And now the river card
7
is a...
Bulldozer! Baby!
6.
Yeah! Right there, baby!
The Hevad celebration is an acquired taste. I guess I haven't acquired it yet.
Rune will go back to Sweden with a bad taste in his mouth and ringing in his ears.
Here I was thinking, I'm back.
Hevad Khan is healthy once again and back to his noisy ways.
Feels great to run good.
As we saw during the bracelet events this year, poker is truly an international phenomenon. Players from more than a dozen countries took home top prize. And at the main event, the international trend continued. From Italy to Costa Rica, and even the good old USA. This year, the World Series of Poker has truly been an international affair. And there is bracelet winner Alex Kravchenko. Alex became the first Russian ever to win a bracelet at the World Series this year.
I'm still in Cold War mode. He can't win the main event.
Of course, he would be the first Russian to win the big one. And there is Thor Hansen, who's had an influence on international poker.
That's a good one,
The godfather of poker in Norway. Top 20 all-time in World Series cashes. Because of Thor, everyone in Scandinavia carries a deck of cards and the big blind in their pocket.
His resume also holds 2 World Series bracelets. Thor had a good World Series this year, but his fellow Norwegian dog Martin Mikkelsen could not even play in most of the bracelet events because he didn't turn 21 till after he got to Vegas.
Mikkelsen's chip stack would be one of the tallest buildings in Norway right now.
He was the chip leader after his day 1 session. After that knockout, back among the chip leaders with more than 2.1 million. Meanwhile, 21-year-old Scandinavian Christian Toxford from Denmark going up against American Ryan Elson, who's all in with Ace-King against Toxford's Queens. And the flop gives Elson the lead with a pair of aces.
Of course, it's the American who's the loud one.
Turn card, and ace is up now.
2 pair, baby. No queen, no queen.
Elson needs to dodge a queen to stick around.
Keep me alive.
River card is an 8.
It reminds me of a special teams coach.
So Elson doubles up, and Toxford takes a big hit to his chip stack. Back at our feature table, another Dane, Gus Hansen, quietly talking to himself, but not enough to be overheard, if not understood.
Well, you're out talking to yourself. We got your back. I've been talking to myself lately, I can tell you that.
I try to talk to myself, Lon, but you're always there.
That's true. Jeff Bangard with pocket nines, known as Mr. Rain from his sprinkler company back home in Nebraska. He limps in with 12,000.
I don't like that. You're first to act and you call pocket nines. You're inviting someone to outflop you. Be a man and raise.
Action on Gus Hansen. Gus with ace-7. Ace goes into the muck.
Gus a little tentative here at this table.
Action folds around to Paul Spitzberg. And he has pocket tens.
On the button, that's trouble for Banghart.
Oh, now see, I tried to be a gentleman, and here you come.
Paul, what are you doing, baby?
East Coast bully, hasn't had a chance to raise, now he's coming.
A real popular action by Spitzberg. He makes it 67,000. Ramirez folded a small blind, Scotty in the big blind.
All right, baby. Jeff, I'll let you handle him, baby.
I think this is a good spot for Banghart to say baby right back.
All right.
Baby.
No baby, but a call. Pocket nines versus pocket tens. The flop. There is a 9 for Banghart. He hits a set.
Is he looking at his cards again? What is this, go fish?
He checks it.
Banghart decides to sit on his set of nines.
Spitzberg now with a pair of tens. 103,000.
What's the 3? A value-added tax?
Action now back to Banghart.
Why 103?
Precisely. I'm with my main man, Jeff Banghart, right now. 103.
He made the call. And now these two go to the turn, and now a 10 gives Spitzberg the lead with a set of tens.
Did Spitzberg just look at his whole cards again? It is go fish. Spitzberg reeled in a 10, huh?
Banghart checks it again.
He's still slow playing it, but now he's slow playing the second best hand.
$500,000.
Wow, Spitzberg knows how to bet a set. 500,000.
Well, why not 503,000? The $500,000's a big bet into this pot. The pot was only 370-some thousand.
I'm all in.
And Bangart will come over the top.
And Spitzberg is upset. He thinks he might be beat, and this would be for all of his chips.
Well, guys, looks like this is it. It's been a pleasure playing with all of you. I call.
He makes the call.
You got this straight?
I got a set.
I do too.
I got a better set. Wow.
Yeah, Spitzberg is pumped.
Oh my God.
He started with the best hand, and now he hopes to end with the best hand.
Spitzberg got lucky on the turn, hoping to avoid bad luck on the river now.
This is $3 million pot right here, baby.
Not quite, but it is huge at 2.3.
Spitzberg can't look. Only the last 9 on the deck would send him home.
Nice.
And it is a deuce. Scotty tried to shimmy sham him, but Spitzberg wins the huge pot.
I think Spitzberg could sue Scotty for mental anguish. Is John Moonves still around?
Bangart gives up most of his stack in a hand that will haunt him, while Spitzberg counts his blessings and 2.3 million chips.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main Event.
Welcome back to the Rio. It took a while, but Paul Spitzberg is finally done stacking all his freshly won chips coming off that double-up. Got to be feeling pretty good about himself.
Well, if you're Gus Hansen or Scotty Nguyen, you're feeling pretty good too. They love seeing a guy with a lot of chips and little tournament experience sitting at their table.
First action is on Scotty Nguyen on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam. 5 tray, offsuit into the muck. Action over to Bangart. Bangart says, not this one.
Gus loves playing golf, tennis, and soccer. And I think he likes playing pocket tens.
Gus Hansen is going to bet 3 times the big blind plus a tip. Daniel Alai folds. Ayaz Mahmoud played at the same final table a couple of years ago when Doyle Brunson won his 10th bracelet.
Scotty Nguyen was also at that final table.
Pocket deuces for Mahmoud from Houston, Texas, and he will call the 37,000.
I know I do a lot better just to put it in blind, but...
Spitzberg with ace-king.
I raise.
Well, I don't think he would have raised blind.
He's got throw your weight around chips now. Spitzberg makes it 117,000.
You have big, yeah.
Yeah, he's got big chips. He's got the yellow 1,000s, the orange 5,000s, and the peach 25,000s.
I can't tell the difference between the peach and the orange.
Gus can. He makes the call. Mahmoud.
Interesting.
80,000 more. He comes along.
I thought we would have lost Mahmoud, but apparently he likes the price.
3 to the flop. Queen a 7-4. Misses all 3. Hansen's 10s are still good.
Spitzberg left with his ace-king. And Mahmoud's pocket deuces, I'm sure, look lonely.
Spitzberg first to act. He makes it 97,000.
Spitzberg with the continuation bet. Will Gus make the continuation call? Is that a term line?
Well, it is now, and he does make that call.
Well, I bet you Mahmoud makes a continuation fold. Makes no sense. What the heck?
He does. He was just hoping to get flop lucky, and he did miss the flop. So heads up now to the turn. And it is a 7. It keeps Hansen ahead.
Let's see how far Spitzberg continues with his betting.
No betting here.
He'll slow down.
Hansen will check behind him.
Boy, I figured Gus would have bet there.
River card is another 7, and it's 7's full. Gives the check mark to Hansen. Spitzberg first to act again. Checks again.
All checks.
And out Gus Hansen.
Okay, in next year's main event, no one is allowed to look at their cards again. Gus with the full house. What's he want to do?
He's going to bet it 124,000.
A value bet. Gus hoping it looks like a value bet bluff.
I am certain that you would not do that again if you didn't have something.
Spitzberg wondering out loud if it's a bluff again.
But there's so much money out there. I got to give it to you, Gus.
Wow, he does make the call.
Well, I hope you don't have jacks.
No, I have nothing. Just ace-king.
And with the full house, Gus Hansen will take down that nice pot. Hansen got bid once, but he won it there.
I liked you a lot better before we started playing poker at the same table.
Who doesn't like Gus?
So Gus Hansen back on track with 1.2 million chips at our featured table. Meanwhile, at another table, another Scandinavian involved in a monster pot. Dog Martin Mikkelsen has Adam Weiss at risk in a 2 million chip pot. Dog flopped the straight. Weiss got middle pair and a flush draw, moved all in before Dog called him. Turn card is a jack of clubs. No help for Weiss.
This is my biggest showdown of everything.
Weiss needs a heart or he's gone.
River card is a king of spades, and Mikkelsen takes the big pot. Adam Weiss eliminated. Dog Martin Mikkelsen, once again the chip leader, over 3 million.
He cannot take those chips back to Norway, Lon. He has to spend that money here, I think in the gift shop.
All right, so Dog quietly stacking his chips. At another table, Hevad Khan giving a loud beat to Ed DeHaas.
At this point, the noise doesn't even bother me as much as that body motion.
Act normal, man.
Impossible. I'm an alien in outer space.
Man, seriously, just act normal, okay? You win a pot, take it down. Act normal.
It's not the worst advice in the world.
It's okay? Is it okay? Sure? Okay. Just act normal next time, okay? Please.
Okay. I'll honor that request.
Ed DeHaas calling him out.
Who have the best hand? Umberto!
To another loud player.
Oh my God, the best hand won.
With pocket jacks, Umberto Brenes made a big call on Wolbert Bartlema, holding ace-king. Bartlema all in.
I'd love to see an ace or king on the flop. This place would quiet down.
Oh, the flop is harmless for Umberto. His jacks still lead.
Now, turn the board.
I'll tell you what I would do.
Turn card is a 10, no help for Bartlema.
Bartlema needs an ace or a king, or it'll be up to me to take care of Umberto.
The river card now is a 9. And Umberto, who barely had Bartlema covered, does win the pot.
Umberto! Nice concern. Oh my God, all my chips. Nice call.
But Bartlema will be gone in 138th place.
Actually, he might be the luckiest guy in the room. He gets the lead.
The child is hungry.
And loud.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Rio and the main event of the World Series of Poker. There is the bracelet they are all playing for. And we've got mostly a new lineup here at our feature table. Scotty Nguyen is still here. He traded one dangerous Scandinavian for another. Gus Hansen gone, but chip leader Dog Martin Mikkelsen is here.
How much chip you got over there, baby? 9 million, maybe?
3.
3, okay.
Only 3.
Our E-Trade Financial Tournament ticker puts things in perspective. Everybody bought in for $10,000. That got them 20,000 tournament chips.
Right.
The chip average about 1 million right now. Justin Sadowskis with 9-8 of clubs.
45.
And he's going to raise it up to 45,000.
You got plenty of fun.
Scotty Nguyen, ace 10. Got a whole new set of players. And maybe he'll feel them out first before he plays.
All right, let's have a look here.
Peter Darville.
Squeeze it out. Squeeze it out.
Pocket fives. He's from Vancouver, Canada.
45.
He's Canadian and he's a waiter. I like Canadians. I like waiters. I'm rooting for him.
I call.
He's going to make the call. Now to our chip leader, Mikkelsen.
Opie.
Pocket aces for Opie.
Opie's got aces.
Peter will make the call.
I'll do it right this time.
And Dog Martin putting in some of those new peach chips makes it 200,000.
Love you, buddy.
Raise. Yeah, I guess I did.
200 total. You meant to call, though. Unreal.
Wrong kind of chip.
Unreal.
You raised by accident.
It was not an accident.
I nearly put my money in the dark.
Ireland's Sylvester Gagan in the big blind.
That's unbelievable.
That is unreal. Good God.
You raised 200,000 by accident.
It wasn't an accident.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
Yes, you did.
But either way, Gagan really shouldn't be talking about it.
You're amazing.
Sadowskis will fold. Now Darville.
It wasn't an accident, Pete. Fold it.
If that's the case, unless you're hustling, man. Unless you're hustling, I haven't folded yet.
Opie's not a hustler, but he's a babyface killer.
Yeah, I said I meant to raise.
You didn't say nothing. You said I can do that, and you went to call.
I meant to raise, but if you don't believe me,
No, you
sure.
didn't. Don't
Go
hustle
ahead.
me. Don't con me. What does it matter? I'm folding anyways.
just put it
there,
in.
fold. Take it. God. Shows aces.
It wasn't an accident.
got every move in the book.
Yeah, look at this guy, eh? Oh, it's so many chips, yeah.
You can't tell by that face, but Mickelson is carrying the weight of his fellow countrymen back home who are following his every raise, call, and fold.
My name is Dag Martin Mikkelsen. I'm from Norway. I'm 21 years old. The Norwegian media has been covering the World Series since I was chip leader after day 1B. There was a lot of headlines. The Norwegian press has been calling a lot. I get a ton of messages on my phone. When we play here, it's the middle of the night in Norway and people are staying up just to follow the chip counts. It's kind of unreal. I think I represent Norway because my style of play is what Norwegian poker players are famous for, the loose, aggressive playing style. The fact that people are paying attention adds to the pressure, but I'm just gonna try and concentrate on playing the best I can, and then we'll see.
He's trying to become the first Norwegian to win the big one and the youngest main event champion ever.
All right, we move from our featured table back over to table number 2, where Umberto Brenes has been the ringmaster. Umberto now joined by Kelly Jo McLaughlin, one of the last 2 women remaining in the field. Right now, she's in a hand against Kirk Morrison after the flop. Morrison with ace-queen, McLaughlin 4 spades to the flush.
Morrison with the better ace, McLaughlin with the flush draw, as you mentioned.
Morrison puts out a bet of $70,000. Intended to test the waters and see if he can figure out what McLaughlin has.
Raise 100 more.
Well, a raise of 100 more.
In his first main event in 1994, Morrison knocked out Chris Ferguson and Stu Unger in consecutive hands. He's looking at a different breed of opponent right here.
You win, man. You win.
They said 134.
Kirk said he's going to fold. And Kelly Jo will take the hand.
Good play from Kelly Jo. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I am surprised and disappointed that we do not have more women playing here in the main event.
No, no husband. No husband.
Well, Umberto more than just a card shark, Norman. All right, we go out to the field, and those are the chips of the other surviving woman, Maria Ho. She just doubled up.
Love the double up. Loving a double up.
Almost $900,000 for Maria. And there we find Gus Hansen. Hansen's running into big stacks everywhere he sits. His new table has heavy hitters Kenny Tran and bracelet winner Lee Watkinson. But right now, Gus's biggest threat is coming from Tuan Lam of Canada, who has raised enough to put Gus all in. Lamb with queens against Gus's pocket tens.
Lamb originally had raised to $50,000. Gus made it $148,000 from the big blind, and Lamb has re-popped it to put Gus all in.
28 of those moves. I always.
Gus has to know his tens are no good. If he lays this down, he still would have about $700,000 left, and that would be okay.
I'm gonna call.
And Hansen makes the call. This is our degree all-in moment. Gus Hansen all in and way behind. And he knows he's in serious trouble against the Queens of Lamb.
Gus Hansen's great main event run is about to end.
So Lamb with a chance to knock off a big-time pro in Gus Hansen. And now the flop. And there's a 10, and Hansen gets new life with the set.
Wow. It was a bad call by Gus. He should be on the bus, but it looks like he's going to get very lucky.
Turn card is a 5. Hansen's still good.
Lamb would need a queen and a queen only to knock off Gus.
River card is a tray, and Gus Hansen comes from behind to earn the degree check mark to double up.
I can take it.
What happened? Pre-flop or on flop?
Tuan Lam taking it pretty well.
I am a sick man. That was sick. That was really sick. I have to admit, that was sick.
That was sick, Lon.
That was really sick.
Sick man, healthy chip stack.
The Degree All-In Moment is brought to you by Degree Men. More power than you need. One day you'll need it. The 2007 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, your best bet for great taste. Miller Brewing Company, and in part by Degree Men. More power than you need. One day you'll need it. And the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino, home of the 2007 World Series of Poker.
Back inside the Rio, what was a main event field of over 6,300 is now down to under 120, and the field may be getting smaller still. Hollywood attorney John Moonves being put to the ultimate decision for all his chips by Haris Anastasio.
Anastasio flopped a set of queens. Moonves then turned a set of fives, which has put him in this predicament.
If Moonves makes the call, he will be eliminated.
Lawyers usually don't like thinking unless they're on the clock.
I call.
Moonves does make the call, and Anastasio will show him the winning set. And Moonves, the last of the Hollywood contingent, is gone in 119th place.
Not a bad payday. Plus, he can still double bill clients and get a good table at the pond.
So Anastasio from Cyprus will be picking up his first ever World Series cash, and he's doing very well right now. And as we look at our E-Trade financial chip count, you see Anastasio in second place. Some other familiar names there. Paul Spitzberg in ninth. Rain Khan sitting pretty, just over 2 million. But everybody here chasing this man, Dag Martin Mikkelsen, who has nearly 4 million chips.
I have one question. Where's my baby?
Hey! Damn, baby.
My only question. That's my only question.
Look who's back.
Where's my baby?
All right, baby. Now we got a game.
It's a Scandi table.
Gus's table broke, and he's back at the feature table.
I was on the verge of leaving this little tournament, but I decided to stick around.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh.
That's good news.
Decided to stick around.
They're always telling you bad beat stories. How come Gus doesn't sit down and tell Scotty the bad beat he just gave Tuan Lam?
All right, so Scotty and Gus Hansen once again sitting at the same table. Justin Sadauskas folds it over to Scotty Nguyen. Scotty looking at ace-7.
It's a weak ace. Get rid of it. I'm the spokesman now for Just Say No to Weak Aces.
But Scotty is the spokesman for Just Raise with a weak ace, baby.
Who's this guy?
Terry Vandenberg.
Well, you can't win in a striped shirt. You know it, I know it.
All right, action round to Gus Hansen. And Hansen with an ace-deuce, so weaker ace.
It's a weaker ace, but it's on the button, and there's just one player in, so it's a little different. Unfortunately, the one player in is Scotty Nguyen. And again, Gus has been wary about playing with Scotty today.
And it's a suited weak ace, and he will make the call. Both the blinds get out of the way, so finally the matchup between Hansen and Scotty Nguyen.
I like the fact that I'm schooling Scotty and Gus on what to play, what not to play.
The flop, Jack trade 10, couple of diamonds, a flush draw for Hansen. Scotty with the stronger ace.
Scotty with the better hand, Gus with the better chance to win the hand because of his flush draw. Is he looking at his cards again? I'm telling you, it's unprofessional.
Well, they both check it to the turn. Now the turn card is a queen, and now both players with a straight draw. Scotty with chips now, 110,000.
Remember, Gus has a flush draw. I don't think he can lay this down. And actually, we have a very good chance of a split pot here. I believe Gus would raise right here if he knew how weak Scotty's hand was.
But indeed, he just makes the call of 110,000. Now the river card. It is another queen, and you see the check mark for both players will have a split pot if they both stay in the hand.
They both have a pair of queens, ace, jack, 10. You know, this is one of those hands where it doesn't matter what you have. If you're pretty sure where your opponent is at, you can bet and win this thing.
But Scotty only checks.
Gus, did you hear me? Did you hear me, Gus? You know, of course, I can see the cards, and I still can't win. Gus can make a move here.
He checks it also.
Ace high, baby. You got it. A7.
I must be the worst player ever.
Second worst, Gus. I still play once in a while.
Gus turns over ace deuce. They're going to chop it up. They both have a pair.
Gus looks disgusted with himself.
You got to be the worst player, baby. If you bet, I would erase you. I swear to God.
Just trying to make Gus feel better.
You bet you can't win, baby. I promise you that. Next time, try it. All right, baby?
I don't know why I'm even at the table. I should be going home like 20 minutes ago.
Well, Gus, despite a couple of mistakes, is still here.
But Gus will get away from Scotty for a moment.
You know I don't play bad, baby.
I am the worst player ever, but I look good. I am the worst player ever, but I look good.
Well, we waited all day for these two to mix it up, but sometimes even a heavyweight fight ends in a draw. There was many a knockout today at the main event. Two former champions hit the rail, along with the godfather of Scandinavian poker.
All right, guys, it's been fun.
And a 7-time bracelet winner will not be adding to his collection. It was a great day for some. Scotty Nguyen has his second main event championship in sight.
Thank you, baby.
And there are still 2 women vying to make history.
I don't want to be the last woman. I want to be the last person standing.
As everyone continues to enjoy the ride of a lifetime.
Been playing poker for over 50 years. This is my favorite moment in my entire life.
The pros still loom large.
I have to admit, that was sick.
For Norman Chad, I'm Lon McCarran. See you next time for the main event of the World Series of Poker.